G'day guys, welcome back. It's brown day with the split flip cup pour. So I think I've only got one left after this, and this is the ready oranges. So we'll see how the browns go. Not really my colours, but we'll see how we go. Now in the Mont Marte, I've only got this one, burnt umber, which is that one, and I've added a little bit of white to it to make it a bit lighter, so that's that one, because I've only got 3 browns. The other one is raw sienna. It's a bit yellowy for me. I added just a touch of brown to it. It's more like the yellow ochre. Not a fan of that colour. And then this one here is burnt sienna. It's more of an orangish tone, but they're all tones of brown. My white is the Mont Marte White Studio Acrylic, and then I've got the black as well. So those are my colours. I will show you, actually I can show you the purple one now. I've shown you the green one already, and this is the purple one. It's dried really pretty. They don't change at all really from when you see them. I guess they go a little bit darker because I use a white glue mix in my pouring medium, and the glue is white. It dries clear, so they look a little bit paler once they've been mixed with the pouring medium, and they dry a little bit darker, but that's the purple. All right, let's move on. Put him up there. Once I'm finished all of them and they're all dry, I'll line them all up and show you all of them, hey? Now pouring medium, same as always, 60% glue, 40% water, and they have been mixed 1 part pouring medium to 1 part paint. In saying that, the browns were really quite thick. I added more pouring medium to the browns, and the white is always thin, so I add an extra blob of white. The black was the same. It must have something to do with these dark pigments. 10 grams less black paint. Right, and for cells, as usual, my spot on treadmill silicone. Just open it like that, give it a bit of a twist, and put in 2 drops in each. So I've got 60 grams of pouring medium, 60 grams of paint, which is 2 ounces of pouring medium. Oh, I'll put the black. I shouldn't have done that. We'll see what happens. 2 ounces of pouring medium, 2 ounces of paint. It's 4 ounces. And I'm only doing 2 drops. Normally I would do 4 drops. When I started I was doing 4, but I found out that I can cut it right back. And then you've got less oil to clean up if you do decide to varnish. I traditionally don't varnish. I like the natural look. If it's a metallic painting, I tend to varnish it because it really brings out the metallics. But as a whole, I tend not to. I can't see the point. Do oil painters varnish? No. Do watercolor artists varnish? No. I don't know why we feel as if we have to varnish or resin. I don't get it. I know they do look prettier when they're wet, but that's the same with all paintings. So as I said, I don't tend to varnish. Right, let's get started then, shall we? Where's my corner catcher? Oh, it's over there. I'll get it later. Let's start with some white. I'll do the 1 chamber first. White, brown, and we've got the lighter colour, and then we've got the black. I'm hoping that there's going to be enough difference in the colours. Well, you felt a little bit thick. I'm seeing how I go with the black being just a touch thicker. Oh, you're a bit thick too. I thought I'd thinned them all out, but they all seem to be thick. We might end up with small cells in this one. Although I have just been doing swipes, so mix is a lot thinner with a swipe, so it's probably just feels really thin to me, thick to me. And finish off with the white. Oh, you haven't got nearly enough paint in your side. How did that happen? white. I might change that up and put that there for the second layer, just to see what happens. A little bit of black. Probably going to get black bullets because the black's so thick. Now this one's going to have to play catch up a little bit. It hasn't got much paint in this chamber. I have to put a little bit more in. Try and play catch up. Look at that. Metal band finishing off on the white. Oh, look at that. They're both the same. Okay. And another layer. And that should just leave me enough for the opposite side. I don't know what I'm going to do with all of these. Does anybody want a set of different coloured paws? No, I'll have to work out how many I'll have. Finish that off. I guess I'll sell them. So if you want the set, let me know. I'll do a good deal for you. It's just really the postage, I guess, that might cost a bit, but yeah, it was just a fun experiment really, so I don't want a lot for them. If anyone's interested, not a lot at all, you can message me. Basically just the cost of the postage with a little bit of extra just to cover costs. That'll help me buy more stock, and it'll make some room for me to make some more paintings. How's that sound for a plan? Plan, Stan? All my art, pretty much all my art's for sale, unless I'm doing it specifically for myself or my daughter or family friend or something. Pretty much all for sale. I know postage overseas can be a little bit expensive, but it's not too bad. It's kind of worth it if you want a piece of art, isn't it? Alright, now I'll put some brown on that one. Oh, you've just had brown on you, haven't you? Oh, I should have swapped them over, but I didn't want the black on the white. It's okay, this is going to be on the canvas anyway once I flip it over. And that's the rest of the black. It does seem a little bit thicker. Hopefully I'll still get pretty cells. I think it is going to be quite thick, because these browns, even though they seem quite thin, they do, I think the brown pigments just are thick. The turquoises seem to be always thinner, and the browns and the reds and the black, earthy tones, I guess, seem to be quite thick. Okay, let's let that sit for a minute. Now get my corner capture organised. There it is. A little bit of cardboard that I've cut up. Rightio, let's see how we're going to go. Got some tiny little cells there. Oh, I think it's going to be thick. Might have to start torching a bit earlier to get bigger cells with this one. We shall see. Okay, are we ready? Let's do this. I've got it all sitting there, so I'm going to have to stretch it to get it to go everywhere else. And it flowed out of the cup pretty slowly, so that's another sign that it's a bit thick, not as thick as some. Let me just pour this over the edge just to use it up. Okay, that white looks pretty in there, doesn't it? Creamy look. And the black's doing its weird little thing again. Sometimes the black does that. I don't know why. It just does. It's reacting with one of the other paints. Now let's cover the surface a little bit. I'll do this half first because I'm almost there. I don't want to lose too much, so let's pop that on. And just do that. It's pretty much covered that area there, hasn't it? Don't want to lose that. What was that one? Burnt sienna. So I think I'll torch pretty soon. And that way I can really stretch those cells out. Oops, burnt sienna's going. We're losing it. Hopefully when I torch I'll get some more out because I can see it underneath there. So hopefully when I torch we'll get some of those lovely little orangey shade of cells coming up. Okay, let's torch nice and gently. I did think I prefer my flip and drags. These have been fun this series. And I've certainly got a lot of movement in my paintings that I don't normally get when I do my flip and drags, but I just think I prefer the flip and drags. See, this brown here is quite thick. I'm not getting much underneath that at all. I may have to tilt and then torch again. Okay, I think I got a bit close there. Okay, let's do some walking. Back and forth, back and forth. Get the weight of the paint moving. It'll help when you want to go in a certain direction. That big blob can go. All right, let's just look at it. Oh, it's turned out all right, you know. My gosh. There's a bit of a weird blobby thing in the middle there. Not sure what that is. Maybe I didn't stir my oil very well. Okay, now let's walk back this way because I've got these two corners that I don't particularly like. And this area here, it looks a bit muddy. I know, brown looking muddy, but it looks, you can't really see much in the way of sellage under there. So we get rid of that, get rid of that. And let's go for a walk. There's something going on in there that's not moving. Oh, looks like a blob of paint. It's not really mixed because I can't pick it up. Oh no, there it is. Got it. Probably a blob of paint. Okay, well I may have to tilt that off now because I've made a mess of it. What to do when you've got an itchy ear and you can't scratch because your gloves are covered in paint. Alright, let's keep going. I'll see what this area here is doing. I may have to pick some more out of that. It's still not flowing well. Must be something else in there. I don't know. Alright, I'll just leave it. It'll be alright. Maybe. No, look, it's still not flowing. What is that? Oh, it's just blobs of paint. Mustn't have stirred it properly. Okay. Right, that's just doing my head in now. Don't know if there's actually anything in there or not.